Welcome back to the Truth Factor. I wasn't sure what I wanted to talk about in this video, so I'm just going to talk about everything I find interesting today. A terrorist drove a van into a group of soldiers in a Parisian suburb, injuring 6 people. So far, there have been no fatalities, but the driver of the van was hit with 5 bullets while attempting to evade the police and is in serious condition. And although this was labeled a terrorist attack, I read about 7 different articles that did not mention that he was Muslim or tied to Islam in any way. I finally did find a French article that said his first name and had a picture and said that he was from Algeria. So I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark and say that he is most likely Muslim. I mean, just statistically, Algeria is 99% Muslim. In 2017 alone, there had been 5,144 fatalities due to terrorism. And 80% of those fatalities were linked to well-known Islamic terrorist groups. And most of the others were linked to Islamic extremists and lesser-known Islamic terrorist groups. But I don't know, can numbers be prejudiced? Because if so, for some reason it's not considered sexist for women to be cautious while walking alone at night for fear of being assaulted or raped by a man. And if you said that it was sexist, you'd be handed some rape statistics. So why is it Islamophobic to bring up terrorist statistics to justify a fear of Islam, and not sexist to bring up rape statistics to justify a fear of men? Either both are okay, or both are wrong, and you can't just pick and choose based off of what group is deemed okay by society to criticize. Statistics are not hate speech. They are just numbers. Statistics don't care about your race or your religion or your gender. And to quote Ben Shapiro here, facts don't care about your feelings. Islamophobia isn't created and spread by a xenophobic alt-right Twitter echo chamber that is magically there for no reason, despite the police wanting that to be the case. It's created by people who yell Allahu Akbar and drive cars into people. If you want to prove that Islam is a religion of peace, then Muslim majority countries need to be dismantling their Islamic extremist groups and stop funding them. But last time I talked about that, my video was taken down for hate speech, so let's move on to North Korea. Trump tweeted, "My first order as president was to renovate and modernize our nuclear arsenal. It is now far stronger and more powerful than ever before. Hopefully, we will never have to use this power, but there will never be a time when we are not the most powerful nation in the world." And then everyone got mad and said that he was provoking North Korea. But if North Korea was a rational country, maybe I could see that, but their leader is not rational and should not be dealt with rationally. This was a message saying, if you mess with us, we have the capabilities of destroying you. Because Kim Jong-un is absolutely crazy, like an insane dictator who thinks he's a god. That might actually be Psy from Gangnam Style. They look like a lot alike though. I don't think that North Korea even has the capabilities that everyone else is saying that they do. Just over a month ago, it was said that they were unable to reliably launch a long-range missile, and they've never been able to detonate a nuke outside their underground facility, so who knows what they have going on. But are we expected to believe that they've solved all their problems of miniaturization, launch vehicle reliability, rocket guidance, and aiming, and are suddenly an existential threat in a month? If this was a movie, that would be a huge plot hole, because let's say that North Korea attempted to fire a missile at a country. It would most likely be shot down before anything could happen. It would most likely fire a nuke at Japan before it would at the States, and the war would be over very shortly after, and it would not be good for North Korea, because nobody likes them. They have far more enemies than friends, and here are the numbers of nukes that North Korea allegedly has, and here's what everyone else has. Don't start wars with people that have more weapons than you. However, there does seem to be one supporter of North Korea. Look at this picture of Chelsea Clinton. Do you see it yet? What about now? What about now? What about now? Collusion. What else is new? Well, according to BuzzFeed, driving over a rainbow crosswalk is considered vandalism. What was the expectation here? Tires also don't care about your feelings. If you didn't want your rainbows to be driven over, you shouldn't have painted them on the roads. Like, if you were upset about this, you will never survive the road wars. Someone made an inflatable chicken that looks like Donald Trump, which I think was meant as an insult, but it actually turned out to look pretty cool. It's kind of like that Alex Jones song that the left thought was an insult to him, but everyone loved it, including Alex Jones. He is now doing a $20,000 cover contest of that song, and he is more popular than ever. Every time the left tries to take us down, we just get more support, and they look like communist dictator assholes. Speaking of which, I was thinking about that Google memo again, and it reminded me a bit of Stalinist Russia. Stalin believed that any art using complex techniques or forms should only be accessible to the elite and not be able to be viewed by the people, because he did not want anything that could make people think, or something that he couldn't control. There was a Russian artist named Malevich who painted a flat black square. That was it. It was called the Black Square. And artists who chose to paint abstract art like this were marginalized, and Stalin even imprisoned Malevich for 2 months. 2 months in prison for painting a black square. But to this day, as far as I know, that black square still hangs in the Hermitage Gallery and was purchased for $1 million. There's nothing really special about this. I mean, it's just a black square, right? But it was a symbol. It was an idea that provoked free thought at a time with forced thought suppression. The leaders, the writers, the artists of the formalist movement suffered political persecution under Stalin, and now we see that that was wrong. But it's not so different from that Google memo. Why did that memo really make people so upset? Why is society really marginalizing people with different political opinions? Was it because of what that memo really said, or was it because it challenged something that is not allowed to be questioned in our society, that sparked a debate among the people? I mean, it was just a memo, right? Alright guys, I just want to thank everyone supporting me on Patreon. A link to that and my Twitter in the description. Have a great night, guys.
We love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good, oh, they're so sweet.